Hello and welcome to Parent Voice Table Talk. It's me, Miss Latoria, and I have the parent leaders here with me today, Miss Cynthia Banks and Dominique Robinson. Hi, ladies. Welcome, welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
hello.
So glad to have you guys here again, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into these questions. So the first question for today is, who are the special people or person in your life? Who's somebody special in your life?
There's someone special in I have two actual. I have my mom and my children. That's two special in my life. Just my mom and my children.
It's Cynthia.
Yeah, I would say my special people are my husband, my kids, my brothers and sisters, my grandma, my grandpa, and a couple of our really close family friends that I like came up with through like high school. Like my best friend Mandy, my best friend Alicia Keisha, and like they like my sisters, my little sister circle. So those are my special people. I have other people that I hold close to, but it's those are my ones that's like my immediate circle.
Yeah, I mean, family is definitely, they hold a special place in my heart. So I would have to say within my family specifically, of course, my mother, um, and I have two cousins that, well, one of my cousins, she's been like my sister or my older sister, the way I look at her. I mean, she's only a year older than me, but I was the only child for what 14 years, so I really didn't have an older sibling, but she was 1 year older than me. We hung out with each other all the time. We've always referred to each other as sister cousins, so she's a special person to me in my life. And then of course my fiance is my special person in my life, so I would say they're the special people that I have. Next question is, what if you could live to be 200 years old? Like, what do you think your life would be like?
Well, if we could live that long, then my life would be wonderful. I would just like have fun with my children, but they'd be grown, so I don't know what we'd be doing together. I guess, but I'll try to make it happen. But in reality, 200 years, whew, I think that's dust, ain't it? But
I think
I'm sorry, she said that's Dominique. That's I would have to say I want to leave a legacy. If I'm living for 200 years, I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave like generational wealth, like just I want to leave a legacy of just whatever, you know what I'm saying? Restaurants, poetry bars, I don't know, massage parlor, whatever. I want to leave a legacy. Reiki, art therapy. I want to leave a legacy for my kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids, whomever. Like because it's like, and then I want to make a name. It's so much stuff inside that I want to share out and that I know that I have inside that I can share out, and the people that have been able to kind of like come into contact with and network with, and just see how they are and what I can do to help them and how they can help me and how we can network and grow together. I want to make a name. I want people to know me because I helped, or because I reached out, or I stepped outside of myself to see the beauty in somebody else and want to be able to share it, to figure out how they can share that. Man, what? 200 years? That's more than enough time. More than enough time. Yes.
yeah, I agree with you, Cynthia. Like if I'm gonna be here for 200 years, somebody should know my name. Like I should really have the opportunity to leave a name for myself. Because I think so many times that with life, you get so caught up in trying to figure out things that before you know it, by the time you figure out how to do something, it's like, dang, the time has passed. Oh, I wish I would have known this at 12, or I wish I would have known this at 21. I would have done X, Y, and Z. So it's almost like to me, like having a set a second set of life almost, like having that opportunity that whatever I didn't get a chance to do in my 20s, I'm doing at 120. So of course, if I'm living to 200 years, I would hope that that also meant that because my lifespan is stretched so far that when I'm 120, it's not like I'm 120, it's more like I'm 60, like I'm half that age. So that by the time I'm 100 or 200, it feel like I'm at 100. So yeah, definitely would want to leave some form of legacy behind and make sure that I make some kind of impact. Um, I think it would be nice to see generations to come. Like, I always wonder, like, what my ancestors might have thought for, my life or what their generations to come would be like. And I'm pretty sure, like, to see it all unfold is something that you could probably just embrace and love and be a part of. Like, I think I would like to be a part of that, to just see how it all unfolds. So yeah. The next question is, what's something you want to learn or wish you were better at?
Well, I know how to draw a little bit, but I just wish I was really better at it, like a real designer person, like painting and stuff like that, like like I just wish I could really just draw something without tracing it, but I want it to be perfect. I just wish I was better at more designing, basically, just something like that.
I'm over here shaking my head like, yep. I want, yeah, I want to go back. If it's something I can learn, I want to learn like the fundamentals of basics of like art, and then like I want to learn how to like use it as a therapeutic vice. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually using art as a therapeutic tool, and then like I want to learn how to make candles and how to make soap, because I've always wanted to learn how to make candles and soap and like massage oils and stuff like that, or like body butters. I really want to learn how to do those things, and I know it's not complicated or hard, and you can like look on YouTube and watch a video or something like that. But I feel like I feel better in an actual environment with somebody that's trained to do it, because you know how you always try to do stuff by yourself and you wind up not always. Well, I'm gonna tweak it this way. I'm gonna do that, and then you wind up messing up the whole recipe, or you want to have like this whole science experiment going on, and you like, I hope it turns out right. So it's like, I would like to learn how to do it, like, and then be able to like become like a master at it so that I can excel.
Yeah, for me, let's see. I think I would want to learn. So I used to know how to, well, I used to know how to sew a little bit. And my grandmother wanted to teach me, and I always just thought like, I'll never use that. I'll never use that. And now, like when the pandemic hit and everybody was making masks and all that, and I have a sewing machine that's not outdated, it's fairly new, because I asked my mother to buy me one like a couple of years ago. Like, I'm gonna, go back to learning and taking the time to figure it out. And I was sitting there just struggling. And I'm seeing like my little cousin that's like in elementary school got her own business making masks. And I'm like, can somebody teach me how to make a mask? I just want to learn at this point. I'm not even trying to sell nothing and make a business out of it, but now I just see it coming full circle. So I wish I would have really took the time to learn how to sew, so that at this point I could be better at it.
I can relate to that though, Latoya, because my mom used to knit and crochet, like, oh my God. And like when we were like cleaning up, I found all of these like unfinished products. Like it's hundreds of unfinished projects. They're still on the knitting needles, or they still have the crochet hook attached to it or the yarn, but it's no pattern. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to like mess up her work. And like, she taught me how to do it,
Mhm.
but I never mastered like being able to do the patterns that she would do, or just so I can relate to that like on so many levels, because I want to finish her work. You know what I mean? I really want to be able to master that. Like I can relate to you on that regard. Like, and then it hits so deep that, like you said, like leaving a legacy. That's what we were talking about. So yeah.
Yeah, and one other thing I've been thinking about really getting into. I mean, I know I want to get into is stocks. Like, I guess now in the point in my life, I'm like, okay, I should have been investing, but now I'm more focused on like my future, my, my generation. I mean, my next generation to come, my kids. I want to leave them in a better situation than, anyone else. So just trying to provide the opportunities for them and making sure I have the funds there for that I'm like, okay, if it's not going to be based off of generational wealth, I'm going to start by creating wealth for my kids in a sense that they can then pass it on to their kids and they can start our own, generational wealth based off of our family and put it in a work effort to do that. And I think that has a lot to do with stocks because some of the people with, the lowest paying jobs take the opportunity to invest in the stock market, learn it, understand it. They can really make a career out of it. Like people have made millions, billions of dollars just in knowing stock market and knowing where to put your money. And investments are so important. So like things like that, like investment, stocks. I wish I knew more about um coming blank to me. The housing market, not so much real estate. Thank you. Real
Looking at
estate.
that because everything that you're talking about are things that I said. It's like because I made a vision board, right? And then I went back and I journaled. Everything that you're naming is on my vision board or in my journal. It's like we need to holler at each other. What's up? Because I agree with you. Like learning the stock market is where a lot of the money is. A lot of the money goes into stock import, export. You know what I mean? I would like to learn more about it, like you said. And then if you're gonna build generational wealth, you want to, like you said, invest in it. The question is knowing what to invest in, when to invest, how much should you invest. You know, those are the things that are prevalent, and I feel like our generation needs to start paying attention to that now, like you said, because times are changing. Times are seriously changing, and when you look outside, you can see it evolving right in front of your eyes. Like the generation coming up behind us, like it's what are we gonna do? So it's like either you're gonna drop the ball or you're gonna pick it up and run for the touchdown. And I want to run for the touchdown. I'm with you. What's up?
Yeah, and I think
Maybe we can do a workshop or something.
yeah, I do think that it has a lot to do with your age and where you are in your life, that you just start to have a different outlook. Like your thinking process is different. Like I never thought about it until now because of course you never think about it when you're actively in that age. Like when everybody like, oh, you're in your 20s, you're only thinking about you right now. You're only thinking about the now. You're not thinking about your future. And I used to be like, what you mean? I'm in college. I am thinking about my future, but no, deeper than that, deeper than, yes, you're in a college stage. So the idea of you being in college is more than likely occurring or you're working. So that's normal. But what are you doing beyond what's typically known for your age? What are you doing to secure your future? And now I understand what that means. Now I can look back and say, oh, that's what they meant by that. But I was so caught up in I'm going for my degree. That's me investing in my future, not thinking of anything beyond that. So I think that's something to definitely try to, embrace and then also shed light to our kids because I think it has to one deal with the relationship you built with them, that they look at it as, oh no, mom is sitting here like speaking some truth to me so that I could be better, not, trying to tell me what to do and dictate and talk down on me and give me something else to do. But no, like she really is spitting some good knowledge. I need to take advice from it. because obviously at those ages we also be like, I know everything, I don't really care what you got to say, like, okay, whatever, I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm having fun with my friends. Like that's
Because that's
the
the
only
mentality,
mindset
you know,
we- yeah.
that's your mentality at that time, because you're coming into your own, you're coming into your own identity, you're trying to figure out who you are, you're claiming who you are, you're standing up for yourself, you're you know, you're picking your political stance, you're picking your stand, you're setting your standards, your boundaries, you're learning about yourself, you're testing the limits to see how far you're willing to go. And some people fall off and some people don't, and some people are like, all right, they like it, and some people can keep it going, and some people are just like, this ain't for me, I'm not with it, I'm going that way. I don't know what that is. I'm not even, no, I was never even fascinated by that. But so it's like, you know, at that age, it's that mentality, you know what I mean? You have to learn for yourself. A lot of times we learn through experience.
Mm-hmm.
You can always tell somebody how to, you know, get what it is they need. But if they don't have the experience, it's a gap. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you actually have to tangibly go through that experience to experience it. So you know how it feels. So you know how to think. So you know how to maneuver or, you know, make decisions or choices should you have to. It's a mentality. You got to go through the experience to learn. Life is all about lessons. Life is all about making mistakes and learning from the mistakes that you made, not beating yourself up for the mistakes that you made, but learning from the mistakes that you made so that you don't make those same mistakes. So that when that cycle repeats itself, you can do better the next time. You get what I'm saying? Because you're going to keep going through the same thing. You're going to keep on going through it. It's a matter of mind state. It's a matter of mentality. Like, are you going to choose to be at peace with the situation and adapt and evolve and grow and not let that get to you anymore? Or are you going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result and then getting mad? You know, so you have to learn. And once that light bulb goes off and you learn that lesson, guess what? It's another one. And it might come from a totally different, you know, perspective of life or a totally different area of life, but it's always something coming. So you just always got to be prepared. You got to always be on your toes, always be willing to be open to learn and not be so quick to judge. And I've learned that from going through my whole life, you know, I'm in and out of church and in and out of the relationships with religion and spirituality and all these. Yeah, you learn to discern. You learn to evolve. You learn to accept yourself, acknowledge yourself, identify yourself, and be like, hold up, flag on the field, I'm not dealing with that. Go that way with that. Get that mess out of here. Like, you learn what you want to deal with, what you don't. But you have to go through it to get to that point. Sometimes people can tell you, yeah, girl, don't do that. Or no, like, especially when your parents are warning you, they're trying to, you know, guide you and steer you, you know, don't do that because you're going to wind up with this or this. But the thing is, sometimes they have to go through it so that they can learn. And I forgot what the school called it, because the school called it something too when they were saying, like, you know, you see your child struggling, so you want to help them. And you jump right in and you're helping them. And you're like, oh, I'm helping them. I'm saving them. But you're enabling them, because now every time they need help, they're going to look for you to come help them, instead of trying to struggle through it and get through the situation on their own to kind of adapt to. You have to, life is all about lessons. It's all about mistakes, making mistakes and learning from them. You got to pick yourself up. We all fall down. We all fall short. We all make mistakes. It happens. But it's how you react after that, how you pick yourself up after that, how you move on after that, how you learn after that. It's we gonna get there.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do a question on generational curses, because I truly believe in it, and
Yeah.
it's definitely some place in us that we have to be the ones to put a stop to it and make the change. So yeah.
Yeah.
So for the current time question of the day, we have, how do you feel about the COVID-19 vaccine? Are you getting one? Why or why not?
Nope. Nope.
You already know, Cynthia, like I'm not
Nope.
taking it, kids not taking it, and I just posted this lady that's 39 years old that died with, you know, from the COVID-19 getting her second dose. And I posted on Facebook yesterday. So I told and said my own opinion on that. I said, if y'all want to continue to keep taking it, God bless. But y'all see people steady dying from it. And people I know, oh, I'm about to get my second dose, or I'm about to get this. like, please listen. Like, people is dying from it. Like,
Now,
you
see,
might
I was just
die
talking
right
to
away.
someone.
You might not be dying
Right.
right from it, but it's later down the line, and you got it in your system already. So, hey, more power to you.
And see, I was talking to somebody today, and they were saying that when they were doing the testing, that they weren't doing like the testing control groups before they like released it. They weren't testing people of color. Like they
That's
weren't
not
testing.
true.
I just said I heard it. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if
Go
it was
ahead, go
true.
ahead. I'll
I
wait.
heard
Go
it.
ahead.
So I was just like, it just boggled my mind. I just looked at them like, really? They okay, but okay. But my thing is like, I have my qualms about it. I don't even like the whole idea of like getting the vaccines because like I know that it's supposed to help. I know that it's supposed to be like a protectant, but you don't know what you're really putting in your body. Like even down to our food now. You don't really know what you're eating unless you're like growing it yourself and you can see
Yes.
it
And
out
then
of the ground. You get what I'm saying?
then it's though that the doctor had did all of that and said it's just crazy. It just if a doctor died from the vaccine he trying to put in you, what that tell you? That's all I'm saying. That's just you don't need no other direction from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even want to take something like that? The only person that's going to help you is God upstairs. That's it. He's the one gonna make a miracle. He can make this go away today or tomorrow. I'm just saying, snap his fingers and it's done. And y'all got all this in
Okay,
y'all.
Thanos. Yes. Yes, he is. Because that I'm
So
trying.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate right here. And
It's always Latoya. Come on.
it is. So I have a couple of feelings behind it, right? One, the posts that are going on social media about people dying from the vaccine, they're not dying from the vaccine. People are saying just because they got the vaccine that there's linkage to their death to the vaccine. That's not the case. The doctor that died, he had a heart attack and that had no linkage to the vaccine. No linkage whatsoever to the vaccine. I don't know about this woman that's 39 or 36 that died after the second vaccine, but it's like as soon as somebody gets a vaccine, if they die or any physical ailments or something happen, they automatically want to link it to the vaccine.
I feel you.
Until I see documentation, meaning when they go and do the biopsy and they say linkage to COVID-19 vaccine, then you got something to say. But if anybody wants to say nothing, I don't believe that. That's
The
wrong.
I don't know.
I posted yesterday. It said on there, her autopsy said it that she got her second dose of that vaccine. But like, how I feel about what I agree with you all the time, Latoya. But I'm them saying this: they wouldn't have died if they didn't took it. They still would have been here.
No, we don't know that. We do not know that.
We don't. We don't. We don't know that. We don't.
A lot of things are going on with this vaccine and it's dangerous. And I'm not putting no man-made stuff in my body. The stuff was that only God can do it. Your body can fight off what you want to fight off when you take care of yourself. You take your vitamins and you take care of your vitamins, you take this and that. But leave them vaccines alone. But hey, more power to you.
Yeah, I'm just like I said,
technically we're supposed to be on a vegetable-based diet anyway. Like, you know, you're supposed to be really kind of like eating fish, light fish, little
and
small
we know
fish,
that ain't nobody out there
vegetables,
doing
like
it.
that.
So
And
let's
nobody
be real.
is
Let's
doing
be
that.
real.
Nobody's doing that.
Nobody's
And
doing
so it's like when you think about the fact that nobody's doing that and then all the different things that they do to mass produce the food that we actually do eat. So how many chemicals are we actually really putting in our body with that? You know, when you think about it, processed foods and things like that, all that stuff that you put in your body, we kill ourselves every day. So let's be real about that. We're killing ourselves every day.
Right. So let me just finish. So that was my one point. Like I don't, until I see data of a person actually dying from the vaccine, I'm not looking at social media posts. I want to see it CDC. I want to see some legit FDA, you know, whoever's approved it. I want to see that. You can't believe everything you hear, yeah. And then my thing is, the one thing I do know is there's 500,000 people that have died from coronavirus. So when I take 500,000 people in comparison to, okay, maybe there's 2 people that have died from the vaccine, I'd rather take my cases of 2 out of whatever amount of people was in the United States, 3 trillion, 3 out of 3 trillion that have lived in the United States have died from a COVID-19 vaccine or whatever, versus 500,000 people that have died. Because there's been people that have been athletes that have had no health concerns that have died. So I think it's beyond just making sure you're up to date on your vitamins and keeping yourself healthy, because there's been some healthy people that have died from from COVID. And another part of it is, like, I feel,
What is going on? It's you guys are frozen. Oh Lord.
really what I'm just saying is, when I look at the data from those that had the vaccine and those that have died, I feel like I'd rather take the chance with the vaccine more than that. It's just like how God got to protect you from COVID. God got to protect you through any other things that you might encounter in life. So I'd rather take that chance. Then it's also, I want to go back to a level of normacy. We are not going to get to a level of normacy with just mask on. It's not going to happen. It's not enough layer of protection. It's not going to happen. Deaths will
But it's
continue
not
to
like it's
occur.
gonna be a mandate. It's gonna be
Texas
so
not even
nuts.
wearing masks. Okay, you're not even wearing masks.
I'm not talking about a mandate for masks. I'm talking about a mandate for everyone to be vaccinated. Pretty soon
They
it's
can't
probably
do
gonna
that.
be a
They
mandate.
can't do that.
It was in the there was a guy, he was doing a whole
It's against the constitutional right. Like, you can't make me
right
get a
now
vaccine.
it's against, they say it's against the constitutional right. However, in the case of a pandemic, it is not the same. In the case of a pandemic, the government can issue a mandate where you have to be vaccinated, where you do not have a choice, you do not have an option. That is fact. And I was watching what news was it? Oh, I don't remember what news station it was. And the doctor was talking, and I looked it up. Like, what is he talking about? Yeah, he was telling the truth. I didn't believe him either, but he was telling the truth. But he was saying that in the event that, like you're saying, like, they can't force people to do things they don't want to do. You can't force a person to take a vaccine if they don't want to take a vaccine. But in the event that there is a national pandemic or a pandemic of sorts, and it is like a way to help, it's like mandatory, you have to get it. They can make you get it. They can force you to get it. But like right now, I feel like they kind of have a hold on it because, like, they're giving people the option and people are actually biting. People are actually coming. They want the vaccine. They want, like Victoria said, normalcy. They want to be able to go back outside. They want to be able to walk around without having a mask on your face. You want to be able to, have your cookouts or hang out or whatever the case you may be. But
everybody has different ways of how their body reacts to that vaccine. Regardless of how we some been saying an opinion about all of that, and this is that, and people don't wear the mask, and our body triggers differently from other people. What might work for you and you still alive, that's good. Mm-hmm. Somebody else take it, they dying from it. Period. That's just my opinion. It is what it is. But carry on.
But that's factual too, Dominique. You're right. You're absolutely right.
And then when the government thing, it was something that I seen that they supposed to pass the law, try to pass law provoking that one of making us get it, because we have rights. You can't make us do anything. Like, I'm hoping that be passed, like, seriously. But it's just too much with this vaccine. And like I said, I just pray for the people that already took it and they getting ready to take it, however. But like I said, people's body.
I want to put a spin on this. I want to put a spin on this because I've heard that in the process of making this, now I might be just random, but it's something that I came across. Do you think that this vaccine has like nanotechnology in it? Because I've heard that.
No.
That they were using it to test, and then they eventually want to chip people, and they've been coming up with like devices to chip people. So do you think that this is probably
part about the chip part? I heard about that, but the chip part I heard about that they're supposed to invent it into you like with a needle or something. Mm-hmm. So I heard about that. Like I said, they act like they want to treat us like dummies for real robots and everything. So that's just something that you're not going to do to me. Like, I'm just can't. I will end up in jail for my rights, however. But I'm a fight for mine. And like I said, for them to want to pass a law for the rights, they know people have rights. They know that you can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. So it's going to be a riot if you try to make us Black people take that vaccine. It's going to be a riot. I tell you.
Well, I know a lot of Black people that have taken it, actually. I know
And
a
I
lot
have,
of Black people.
I have a lot that's not taking it. But like I said, carry on. It's for whoever.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand the years of, basically African Americans losing faith or trust in our government systems. I completely understand that. I get that. I think it's a twofold in a sense that sometimes it hurts us and sometimes it can help us. It help us in a sense to be like more active in researching and digging for information and being knowledgeable of what's going on. But then sometimes I think it hurts us in a sense that what if the whole I don't know where you got your information, Cynthia, about how they didn't do trials on Black people or African Americans, stuff like that. I feel like sometimes that information filtrates through ways for us to hear it so that we don't get the vaccine and then we die off. Like I feel like it could be on a twofold. Where, we're gonna keep them thinking that Black people aren't getting this vaccine and they're more likely to die from it. We're gonna make sure it's on all these VH1, BET, all these Black networks to get them buzzing and talking about it so they don't go get the vaccine. It could be that, or it could be like what you're saying, or Dominique is saying that, oh no, we want them to get it so that we can chip them and we can use this against them in another way. Like it's a twofold. And then at the end of it all, whether it's you're getting the vaccine or you're not, rely on your religious-based system, whatever you pray to, believe in, and that's all you can do. Because at the end of the day, you don't got control whether you take it or not. You don't gotta. If you don't take the vaccine, you ain't got no control that you're gonna get COVID. If you take the vaccine, you don't got no control that you're gonna get sick from the vaccine. So we both are picking our lesser of two evils, and we're just doing it based off our own feelings. So I feel like we could talk about this all day. It's definitely a debatable topic, but to each his own. And then let's try to end on a softer note. The funniest question of the day, Dominique. Let us know what it is.
The pettiest way to end a relationship. I got two of them. The pettiest way to end a relationship, you stink, I don't want to be with you no more.
Dang.
Well, my mother said we ain't supposed to be together. She told me to break up with you.
What? My mother said, why we?
Break up with you. Or the pettiest way, write a letter to him. Say, I didn't want to tell you, but I'm just out.
What about a text message? We over.
Or
just ghosting.
Or I don't want to be with you no more because every time you come in, my dog bark.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think that's one messed up way. If you want to text somebody, like you can't be man enough to break up in front of with me, like
just say to
a person, like just break up with me. Like that's real petty. I think what's also petty is when you messing with somebody's like best friend, their brother, their cousin, like, so I found somebody else. So who is it? Your brother or your sister or your cousin. Like that's real petty. Like when the person when you break up with somebody, you break up with somebody that person introduced you to is more of what I'm saying. Like you never would have met that person if it wasn't for them in the first place. But then you're like, nah, I'm sorry, I like him more. Like I feel like that's real petty. Like
I don't know. I actually have a story. I actually broke up with somebody and put them out my house at 3:00 in the morning and was like, go home. No bus fare, no nothing. Dude had to walk home. And he lived in East Baltimore. I feel bad about it, but at the same time I don't. Because like you know what you know, like when you know what you know and I'm not doing that. You just gotta walk away and you just have no regrets.
I think another way that's petty is when you try to blast them, like you put them on blast. Like, okay, if somebody did, like, we all are human, we all make mistakes, and in time, like, we've all matured in our relationship. So I'm pretty sure we've all done something immature in our relationship. But when people like blast somebody, like, I think it was like some video on Facebook where this girl or whatever, I think she was like in the kitchen and she thought that her man was like about to celebrate her and thank her and tell her that he loved her. But then the whole time he was just recording her to catch her in a lie and say, see, I knew you was a cheater, and like put her on blast. Like they had like this video on social media. It was like thousands of likes. I was just like, dang, that's like so embarrassing. Like, why would you do that? Because at one point you liked that person. Like at one point you loved that person. You had deep feelings for them. So you can only really be mad at yourself because you chose to believe them and trust them. I mean, and then at the same time, if they made a mistake, they young and immature in that part of the relationship. We all make mistakes. And I think like that's why with me, like all of my exes, like I might have felt something in the moment that we broke up, but like now, like I don't, it does not have any like emotional attachment or hurt on my heart. Like I could still call them up, every single one of them, and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? What you been up to? Like, and I would have no hard feelings. And it's something kind of like weird, I guess, to my fiance, because he's like, how can you still like talk to them like you're friends? I said, because to me, like all of my relationships, one, have started as friendships. That's like one of my main things. Like we start as a friend first before I get to that next level. And then after that, I've always made it where whenever I'm ending a relationship, there's some closure where we can both still go our separate ways and be cordial if we ever saw each other in public. If I see you doing good on social media, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna say big ups to you, keep it moving. Like I have no negatives towards you because I resolve that and know that we're all human. We all make mistakes, and I don't hold grudges. I'm not the person to hold grudges either. So
I definitely I can agree with you on that. It's easier to, like you said, cut those ties. Like, and it's not even a matter of really cutting ties. It's a matter of recognizing how that relationship helped you change, grow, evolve. Like it was for a reason. It was a reason that the two of you were together for the time you were together, and then it was a reason for, like they say, reason the season. It was a reason for you to be together, and the season was over. It was time for you to move on, and that's healthy to have closure. It's healthy to, like, to me, I think it's okay to still be cool with them because I'm not going there with you anymore. Like we crossed that bridge. We know what's there. We're not interested in each other in that way anymore. And even if you are, I'm not going there anymore. I've made up my mind. You get what I'm saying? But I would like to still be cool because, like you said, you start out as friends, and I can agree with you that like that's how a lot of my relationships started out too, as friends. Like you said, you'd be able to pick up the phone and call. I probably could, but I wouldn't do it. But you know, it's because once I'm done, I'm done. I don't want to keep going back and forth and keep opening it up and opening. No. But like you said, I would like to have that cordial energy, that respect. Like if I see you, hey, what's up? It's nice to see you. How you been? How you doing? What's up? You know, catch up on old times because we were friends at some point in time. We were cool with each other at some point in time. There was a reason for you to bounce back in and bounce back out. Maybe you're not bouncing back out. Maybe you're bouncing in to stay. Who knows? You never know. But I feel like everything in life happens for a reason anyway. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of paying attention to it and learning from it. But I agree with you. You don't want to have that bad energy or that bad karma or that bad blood. You want to learn from it. You want to respect that space. And like you said, have closure. So, yeah, kudos. Go to it.
yeah, so I think that we pretty much answered that question, and I'm glad we were able to have this conversation today. So those are all the questions that we have today. I want to say thank you to our parent leaders for joining me at Parent Voice Table Talk, and be sure to tune in for our next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.